You want it? You got it. Reality radio done right. No nonsense, real and raw, just like you like it.
He's corrupt, he's inexperienced, and he lies.
Broadcasting from a broom closet in the Arizona Lotus Studios, it's Beef Vegan Presents.
Welcome back to the show. It's Beef Vegan Presents live on Rock 102.1 KFMA, streaming worldwide at KFMA.com on this beautiful Monday, January 13th. Good morning, Rico.
Good morning.
Sorry for your loss.
So am I.
Go Pack Go. Yes, we had wild card weekend here for the NFL action over the weekend. So a lot of your favorite teams probably not playing in this year's playoffs anymore. RIP to the Pack, the Steelers, and a couple others. But really, honestly, in this town, I think the Packers and the Steelers probably have two of the most prominent fan bases, right?
Everybody's like, all right, enough of that.
Right.
Here comes baseball.
Yeah, no, playoffs still continue. We'll catch up with Justin Spears later on this week and see what we can be excited about, and if the Chiefs and the Bills will be the inevitable. The Bills were playing lights out football yesterday, so when I turned on the game, at first it was like Denver was up 7. And I'm like, oh, look at this. It might be upset time for the Broncos there. You got the first touchdown, and then boom, and then 31 unanswered points. I'm like, okay, never mind.
You turn away for 1 second.
Yeah, I did. I snorted. I sneezed, farted, and then looked back up, and the score was 31-7. I'm like, all right, well, that makes more sense. So I hope you guys had a great weekend. Another cold one to start off this week, but we have a lot of stuff to get to, and we're super excited about that. But top story continues to be the LA fires, and those continuing to happen, and the fallout and devastation from that, which is still just heartbreaking. In fact, actually, even the luckiest man in the world was unlucky during these LA fires. And we've been following this luckiest man in the world here for the past 18 months. Talk about Edwin Castro. Does that name sound familiar to you, Rico?
Yeah. Remind me again, though.
Okay, he was the man who won $2 billion in the Powerball.
Oh, no.
Yes, remember Edwin?
That's why I hate that name.
Yes, Edwin Castro. He won the Powerball. He was a sole winner. There was a lot of controversy around his win because other people claimed that the ticket was theirs, yada, yada, yada. And then he immediately did something that no one really does when they win a large amount of money, and that was to publicly announce that he won a large amount of money. He was like, yes, that was me. I'm Edwin Castro, and now I'm a billionaire. And then he bought houses next to Jimmy Kimmel. He bought a bunch of different properties, bought his parents' house, bought a bunch of fancy sports cars, started dating above his pay grade. Well, now technically below his pay grade, living like a super baller.
He did all the things they tell you not to do.
Exactly. And so, with that, though, we're like, okay, we got to keep an eye on this guy. This is like a true Hollywood story in real time. And, and he's living a fantasy. And so far, it's been nothing but great news from Edwin, Castro's camp. Whenever you catch up to him, you would see him in just a classic automobile next to a stunning, high-priced prostitute. And you're like, yeah, okay, this guy is living the dream. But he did have a little bit of bad luck as his Malibu home, where $3.2 million was one of the homes that was torched down to the ground. So that's just one of obviously many as, the wildfires are popping up all over the place. And, hopefully this week the wind gets under control. The wind gets under the control, then the fire gets under control, and then they could start the rebuilding process. With right now, experts are expecting it upwards of $50 billion to even just start to recoup from this loss. And you say there's already predatory practices that are starting to pop up in the LA area, Rico?
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to name names, but I think one's called the Oppenheim Group, these brother real estate investor guys. It's bound to happen. It's like Hawaii all over again. Where you see these people immediately become victim to just under lowballing offers and trying to buy up properties. And a lot of them might have no choice, probably have no choice,
right?
But to settle and just I'll take money, I need it, buy my property that obviously overvalued. So yeah, it's either take this $200,000 to $1 million, so we can resell this later on for 10 times that.
Right. So you're saying, yeah, the real estate agents swooping in, giving like low
The big
ball
boys
offers.
probably,
yeah, the big corporations. How you're like, I don't want to say names, and then you said a name, and
Yeah.
okay, but yes. So
I would
you
be
know.
stubborn. I just build like a trailer on top of my property line. Like, nope,
Oh,
this is mine.
yeah. There's a couple things where, like, obviously there's a bunch of quasi-celebrities been affected by this, and you get kind of getting roasted on social media for being tone deaf. Tone deaf is a word that's been trending the past couple of days. Whitney Cummings was one of those people who, she filmed herself, crying in her podcast studio because, it was about to burn down, or she was afraid it was going to burn down. It turns out it didn't burn down, and that's good news. Spencer Pratt, Heidi Montag, we talked about, the former Hills co-stars and stars of the show. Their house completely burnt down. They documented that, and, it's heartbreaking because they're, young family, married couple, 2 kids, I think, and, those kids are young. So, yeah, this devastated them, and rightfully so, and they're upset. And with that, though, their fans are kind of rallying around and trying to do their best to kind of support them and help them. And what they did was, they didn't start a GoFundMe, right? Because that would be tone deaf. But what they did was the fans said, you know what we can do is Heidi Montag released the Pop album like 10 years ago. let's buy her Pop album and make it go #1 on iTunes. And it did. And so
This single's on fire.
yeah, the single is legitimately on fire. But with that, it doesn't stop there, because then Spencer Pratt took to social media, and he's like, "Hey, man, we really want to, like, not cash in on this. I'm going to just paraphrase. We really want to cash in on this, and this is really helping us. So, we're on the digital charts as the #1 song and album of the country, which is great. But we need to be #1 on the Billboard charts as well." And so Rock 102.1 KFMA. We're live on the podcast broadcast. We just did our show open. We have some viral videos we're going to share with you, including one man's claim to be able to give you the trick to always win rock, paper, scissors, which I think is a life skill that everybody needs to have, because how many times are we in a scenario where we have to, like, try to say, okay, who's going to do this? Well, let's play rock, paper, scissors over it, right?
I need some Squid Game skills.
Yes, absolutely. And so let's see if this has any merit, and then we'll attempt it in the hallway against, like, Justin Spears and like Frank and stuff. Be like, hey, you give up your show if I beat you, Frank, rock, paper, scissors. And we have a lot more that we're going to get to. So you can join us, youtube.com/beefvegan, but we'll be back right after new music from 3 Days Grace. Here's Mayday on Rock 102.1 KFMA. All right, so hey, good morning, Danny. Good to see you on here. And Lindsay, everybody on the stream. And the audio sounding good. That's good news. So that way it doesn't drive Todd crazy, which is always a bonus, a plus. Hope you guys had a good weekend. And Enrico's still has that lingering cough from the MPH. He doesn't want to admit that he got that flu that's been going around.
I never said I didn't want to say that.
Okay. Well, you say it right now.
I just go, I don't know. It's whatever.
Okay.
I'm almost over it.
That flu strain that originated from China, that has been around for a while now. Again, it's not a new virus, and that's the good news. Are you believe that you contracted that?
Potentially.
Yes.
I don't know.
I'm like a doctor, dude. I've been listening to your cough now. This is going on week 2.
You definitely have HPV, DV, MBC. You definitely have that.
Yes, you do. You have the middle part of the alphabet. I can tell.
You have the MSNBC.
Yes. Because he still has that cough, which is going on there. It's lingering. Everything else about you, though, you feeling good?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, normally we would have Weirdo in on this Monday morning, but she texted me this morning saying that she got the stomach flu that's been going around. Have you guys gotten any of these bugs? Either the MSNBC that Rico got, or the stomach bug that poor Weirdo got. Unfortunately,
She got the CNBC.
She did. She got the CNBC, and she said, "You don't want this." I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. I mean, you just tell me you're not coming in. That's fine." All right, but let's get back to more important things. How to win rock, paper, scissors every single time. Let's see if this guy's full of shit or not. I don't know. All right, so he says it's psychological. So let's hear what he has to say.
Tip to win at rock, paper, scissors more consistently. when people say rock, paper, scissors, shoot, or just rock, paper, scissors, they're going to throw out one of those three items. But how can you predict what they're going to throw? And the answer might surprise you. It's not actually like a 33% chance for the most part. When people say things aloud, they're much more predisposed to want to do the first thing that they heard or the last thing that they heard. So when they say rock, paper, scissors, they're much more likely to do a scissors or a rock. And so your first move should probably be a rock. That way you can tie or you can win. Most people never open with paper. And that's honestly a good thing because they've learned through experience that if they lead with paper, they will often lose because most people do either rock or scissors. And so when scissors get thrown about half the time, you lose with paper. So it's not actually a great strategy to start with paper. I usually do rock, and then if I win, I will switch. If I tie, I will remain the same.
I don't know.
Sounds like gobbledygook.
Yeah, because sometimes I start off with paper. In fact, actually, I am going to get Justin Spears in here just to do one round of rock, paper, scissors and test this theory and see if he'll do rock or scissors first. So it'll be interesting. I'll call him up here and as soon as we're done with this first break. Do you think I could beat him in one round?
You're a tricky little fella. I believe in you.
Thank you. Thank you for calling me a tricky little fella. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. It's Tricky Little Fella along with Rico here on this podcast broadcast on this Monday morning as we start things off. We just learned a hack about rock, paper, scissors that I'm going to test on Justin Spears here in just a moment. But we will see. We will see if that will even work. All right, well, let's go into this big story here. A few months ago, news broke concerning a former Disney employee who'd been accused of hacking into the resort's website and altering menu information. Those changes included like food information that could have proven dangerous to like visitors with food allergies. Basically, if something had peanuts in it, they'd be like, absolutely no peanuts in this. You know, that man was named Michael Schuer, and he admitted to the computer crimes as part of a plea deal. As part of his punishment, he must now pay restitution to Disney and a fine to the government and be one of those animatronics in It's a Small World for the next 10 years.
Oh, no.
Just doing the robot.
That's hell.
That is hell, is it not?
Hearing that song over and over.
Again, that's just another example not to F around with Disney. But I am a little disappointed with, and I could be wrong on this, I got to double check, but Disney did donate to the wildfires in Los Angeles. Obviously, Disneyland out there is a huge moneymaker. I think they donated like $2 million. So essentially like 15 minutes of profits at Disneyland.
Yeah. Oh, it's a tax write-off.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, hey, man, you guys should probably fund the saving of Los Angeles a little bit better. I understand that, people come from all over the world to go to Disneyland, but you got to support those in your backyard as well. And they're like, oh, we've been offering locals a discount for years, so...
You know the complaints about the multi-millionaires, the billionaires that hired their own private firefighter?
I did see something about this, that there were the elite, if you will, the ultra-rich were hiring, I think, $2,000 an hour for their own private hotshots to protect their properties from the fires. What do you know about this?
No, I'm just saying how crazy it would be if Disneyland, actually the fires got close to there and we see them with their whole Disney brigade.
Yeah.
We're like, wow, you guys had this the whole time, huh?
Yeah, and the thing is, if that was the case and they sent like Mickey and Goofy to the front line, it is their policy that they never take their heads off in front of the general public because you don't want to ruin the fantasy. So
we don't care if it catches on fire, it stays on.
It stays on the entire time, yes. If you die, it's not you, it's Mickey Mouse who died heroically fighting in the flames. I know. But yeah, it was something like $2 million, which is insane.
Yeah.
Because, again, Disney like snarts that. In a single second. It's like, oh, $2 million. Boom.
Yeah, it's like a day of churros for them.
Easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might be making $2 million a day just profit in churro sales alone. So I was a little offended by this. I didn't see any other outrage, though, online, so I guess I might be the only one. It'd be interesting. And honestly, your theory of them sending out their cosplayers to fight the fires is probably like a secret business plan and strategy. Like,
for sure.
Let's wipe these guys out so we can then introduce fully robotic employees. That's starting to happen.
Ooh.
You know, I mean, for years, the argument was like illegal immigrants are coming here to take our jobs. Now that argument is like, nope, they're not. It's robots taking everyone's job. And now there is a fully robot-run restaurant in Miami, it was only a matter of time. Robots are staffing this restaurant, and they prepare dishes with guidance from artificial intelligence in 2 to 4 minutes. With Mediterranean-inspired meals. So you're talking about euros and stuff.
Whoa.
And the food's kind of cheap. You know, it's from anywhere between $4 and $15. The meals are prepared in batches, and when the order is placed, the robots measure the weight, moisture, and even do a thermal scan on all dishes to ensure that they're cooked to perfection.
Whoa.
So would you trust a robot chef?
Maybe version 2. I have a question for you. Would you tip a robot waitress?
No.
No?
No.
What if it did like a cool song and dance?
Okay. No, I don't care about cool song and dance. It depends on which AI system it's plugged into, right?
Yeah,
if it's one that's going to come back to, like, you know, judge me, then yes, I'll tip 30%. But
It just said something under its robot breath on the way out.
that is an excellent
Cheapskate.
question. Like, you know, as we start having more and more of these places, it's inevitable that these places are going to pop up. And what will be the tipping etiquette? I know that the public consensus and argument that has been in the past year or two is as tipping culture seems to get out of control. You have to tip almost everywhere now. Right? And just expecting it. And it's not even 15% anymore. It's not 20%. Now I'm hearing that servers are expecting at least 30% tip for a service. And I'm like, 30%? I'm not there yet. Maybe I'm set in my ways. I'm a 20 to 25%er.
Right.
And
I know that was a standard like a year ago. I thought we're at 25. We're at 30 now. Like,
I heard 30.
What the hell?
Yeah, I heard 30 and my jaw dropped. Like, God damn it, man. And this is for like even delivery drivers and stuff. I'm like, I'm not tipping you 30% on delivering my food. Like, I mean, it's only a mile away, and yes, I'm sure. I mean, I was too lazy to get in my car and pick it up myself.
Yeah, I'm a lazy piece of crap, but still.
Yeah, but I'm also broke because I'm so lazy. So 30%. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. If the robots demand it, then I'll do whatever the robot overlord commands. Just for, you know, survival. But before that, no, I'm gonna not tip a robot. If anything,
I feel like that would be their big leverage point, though, telling you like, oh, if you go to our restaurant that's fully robot ran, you don't have to tip. People are like, oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. Be like, we're saving a ton of money. Those savings pass on to you, the consumer, because
Right.
honestly, $4 and $15 in Miami is pretty much half price compared to everywhere else you're gonna go.
Miami, oh yeah,
Yeah, in Miami, for sure. So you're like, damn, they kind of figured it out. But at the same time, they're not employing anybody. It's just a bunch of robots. So maybe they're
Soulless.
employing one guy, the robot janitor or engineer, if you will.
I would hate if the robot like had a program in it to like overcharge you wine or give you like when you're on a date, like what kind of wine? Like, oh, we offer this wine, like the $200 bottle.
Yeah.
Like, stupid robot, what are you doing? Give me the cheap wine. Don't do this to me.
Yeah. Well, you know, this is the future that we have to prepare for. So, all right, let's keep the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. We got a couple more videos that we can only share on the internet. So you can join us, youtube.com/bevegan. Music on the way from Disturbed and Sublime, a Rock 102.1 KFMA.
Have you ever had that on a date?
What?
Where it's like the waiter tries to like give you the highest priced items on a date?
Kind of,
Like,
yeah.
you bastard.
Upsells always.
Upsell?
Yeah, where I'm looking, I'm like, yeah, I see you. I know exactly what you're doing. I went to BJ's over the weekend, right, to have dinner. And so we ordered pizza. We're going to split a pizza. The pizza came out and it looked like there was no cheese on the pizza. And I'm like, hey, man, what kind of pizza are you serving here?
Donde queso, amigo.
Yeah, dude. And so the server looked at the pizza. He's like, yeah, there's no cheese on this. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, you want me to run it back and tell him to put more cheese on it? And I'm like, yeah, sure. You know, because I do like and prefer cheese on my pizza.
Like it's normal. He's like, oh, yeah, this one just didn't have it.
Yeah, so he goes back to the kitchen. He comes back out, and he's like, yeah, I was talking to our pizza chef, and he said, they cracked down on the amount of cheese that we were giving away on our pizzas. So they weigh it out per bag.
Yeah.
And he's like, it had the right weight bag amount on there. Well, I'm looking at this pizza, and I'm like, this is fucking bread, dude. Like, you know, there's you see little strands. I shouldn't see individual strands of mozzarella on a pizza.
You shouldn't see any breading underneath the cheese at all.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want none of that.
None of that, right?
No excuse.
But yeah, that was the argument that luckily the waiter put up the fight for us. Now I'm still also hesitant to eat this because I don't like sending food back to the kitchen.
Right.
You know,
Spit risk.
Yes, exactly. The spit risk was through the roof, but apparently I've been drinking spit for the past week since I inadvertently snitched out on my Dunkin' staff. But yeah, so they had to do that, but it was a corporate thing. Where they're like, we're cracking down, we need to make more money. And the problem is, you guys are putting too much cheese on your pizza.
Come on.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, this is a great way to tell me to never order pizza from you guys.
All right.
Because that's not the type of pizza I want. I want a guy not measuring it by ounce. I don't want somebody putting cheese on a scale when they're making pizza. No, I want a fat Italian guy to take his big sausage finger, mitts,
Right.
and just scoop up cheese and throw it on there and then balance it out to make sure he doesn't see any red underneath it.
Yeah.
That's the type of pizza maker I like. You know, that's why Rocco and I. That's why I mess with Rocco. You know, he knows. You know, in fact, actually, the
knows the
biggest
score.
complaint, the number one complaint that Rocco's gets, is that it has too much cheese.
Yeah.
And that is a complaint that I'm all about.
Right.
You know?
That's a good sign.
Yeah, those fat finger scoops are way to go.
It's like when you have the bartender that measures the ounces before they pour it in. You're like,
Yeah. I was like, I'm sorry.
No, I need the lady that's like chain smoking while she's pouring my drink.
It was
whole bottle.
There was so little cheese. I look at it, so I'm like, I'm sorry. Did you think I ordered bruschetta?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Is this, well, what do you think this is? I wanted a pizza, a deep dish pizza. I mean, I'll never order a pizza from that place again.
What the fakash is this?
Exactly. Yeah, Italian's got to be fat. There was the Italian chef. See, my Chef Elefante knows.
He knows.
You know? So
He knows the deal.
I ordered some mamas a couple weeks ago. I was lazy. I got some Joe's spaghetti. And I think I got a couple other things. Man, I know. I'm putting on stuff right now. All my clothes are tight. And I'm just like, I feel it. Now, I'm supposed to be getting blood work done and working with Renewed Medical Spa.
Oh, at that spot, yeah.
Yes. Here hopefully soon. I got to reach out to them today, actually. And I don't know exactly what they're going to do to kind of help me lose weight, but that's the number one goal. And I believe, and then when I was talking with Svetlana, there's a way to say her name correctly. You know, we talked about this, and I believe just even having a conversation with her, I think the game plan is to jack me up on testosterone. Ooh. Yeah, I think that's the go-to when it comes to men over 40. Oh, you need to lose weight? You need to lose that beer belly? That's cool. We're just going to jack you up like a 15-year-old boy and then just set you out onto the streets, and you'll be burning, fat and energy the entire time. Right. While you're constantly bona fide.
Adderall and testosterone.
Yeah, pretty much. Uh-huh. So I'll let you know how that goes.
Do you get to do the body scan again?
Not yet. Not yet.
Oh, it's every time. You're like, I want the body scan again every time to keep track.
Well, yeah. I mean, next time I go in, I'm going to be more prepared. They're going to be like, sir, please don't body scan when you're fully erect. I mean, what do you mean fully? This is not me fully.
How dare you?
It just stands up 90 degrees when I'm limp as hell. It's cold in here. Huh?
Why don't you turn the heater on? Huh?
Yeah, no, we could tell.
Just gaslight them.
Yeah, well, I'll let you know how that works. And thank you, Chef.
How many times do you go?
Well, no, honestly, it's just kind of starting. I'm trying to figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have to follow up with them today. I was supposed to get an email last week to just follow up and get my blood work done. Mm-hmm. And
I need to get blood work done.
Yeah, well, me too. It's been forever.
Yeah. See what the deficits are, what kind of vitamin deficiencies and all that stuff.
Yeah. Now, Sweetest Nightmare says, I'm losing weight again. It sucks. She said, only steroids. I never were like cortisone, prednisone, shit like that. Those suck, yeah.
Next time we see Beef, he's going to have the handsome Squidward jaw.
Yeah.
Just pristine.
I know. Well, Tomcat's like, good luck on your hormonal journey. And
hormonal.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'll go through puberty again. Fuck it. Let's do it. Yeah. All day long, we'll see how that goes. If I start getting pimples on my face and all my segments are talking about boobs and I go,
your voice is cracking.
Not too different than what we're doing now already. So,
right.
Dave's down 10 pounds, which is good. Dave, I will show your picture that you sent me here in a second right after Morning Moron, which I thought was fantastic because Dave has a tramp stamp that he was proud about, but he did it for raising money for vets.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and he sent a picture that was pretty hilarious. He also sent me an F My Life over the weekend that I didn't read because I didn't read on the air because it was a novel. It was like Rico's 5-star review. All right, but as I get ready for that, earlier this morning, we did our morning moron. In case you missed it, it went a little something like this. Check it out.
From your job?
I just get stupider.
It's fun being stupid.
Don't hide this in vain. Let us laugh at your pain. Call 600-KFMA right away.
I promise we won't embarrass you.
Because Beef Vegan presents F My Life. F My Life. F My Life.
Yes, it's time for another edition of Your F My Life. These are unfortunate situations emailed to me at beefvegan@kfma.com. Subject line FML. But of course, if you have an F My Life you care to share on the air, give us a call at 600-KFMA. That's 600-5362. And Rico and I will weigh in on your F My Life situation. If we agree your life is F, we'll hook you up with a pair of tickets for your Tucson Roadrunners. All right, are you ready for this first email?
Let her rip.
All right, Trevor sent me this at beefvegan@kfma.com and said, the other day my wife sat beside me on the ledge of the bathtub because she wanted to make out. That's very sweet.
Aw,
I was on the toilet going number 2.
that's real romance.
That's beyond kink, dude. It stinks and it's kink. All right, is that enough of my life, Rico?
I guess so.
I mean, that's love, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to say big baby because honestly, if this woman loves you so much and she wants to make out with you while you're doing that, I mean, that is blind
That's
love.
a keeper.
Yeah, they say you can't smell love. All right, next F My Life sent to me by Kate. Kate said, I was checking my husband's computer history and found that Shrek porn had been searched multiple times.
Ooh.
F My Life.
Kink shame. Yeah, F My Life.
You gonna say F My Life? Yeah, because you're like, what do I have to do? Now I have to, like, paint my body all green and call myself Fiona?
Do I gotta be donkey? Like what? What do I gotta do? Love is like onions.
Yeah, I mean, it's just all cosplay, role play stuff. So, I mean, all married couples do a little role play from time to time. Usually it's like a nurse-doctor scenario, not necessarily a Shrek donkey scenario, but, to each his own.
You play that Smash Mouth song and he goes, oh.
Yeah, this is how if you're listening in your car on your way to work this morning and you're wondering to yourself, I wonder if my husband has a Shrek fetish. Play a Smash Mouth All Star and then keep an eye on his package and make sure there's no movement. All right, if he gets fully aroused, then unfortunately he does have a Shrek fetish, and it's a growing phenomenon.
Yeah, it is.
All right, next F My Life email sent to me by Jennifer. Jennifer said, I got my period early while traveling for a funeral. I had to walk through 2 entire airport terminals to find a shop that had any period products, and the only option was an $18 box of tampons. Woo. 6 tampons, to be precise.
Dang.
Yeah, dude, that's pink tax galore.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that sucks. F My Life.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, 100%, and I'm sure there's a lot of women out there that could relate to it. All right, sorry about your luck there, Jennifer. Next email sent to me by Monty. Monty said, I popped into the shower hoping to come out all warm and clean. But something was very wrong with my pipes, and I came out smelling like sewage instead. Ooh, That's the worst case scenario.
Sewer showers?
Yeah, dude. And
No,
then,
thanks.
And then you want to shower off that smell, and you can't because the shower is what made you smell like that. Yeah, that's just bad luck all day long.
For real.
Yeah.
Big
Now,
F My Life.
okay, let me ask you this scenario. Say this is my shower, right? And I'm like, I smell like sewage. And then I call you up and like, can I come over to shower your place because I smell like sewage? What do you say?
Let me check my shower. Oh, man, mine too.
You jerk. You failed the friend test, Rico. But yes.
Soil my happy place.
F My Life. I'm sorry. Yeah, because you know what I do in the shower, too. You're like,
Listen to
why is it
Shrek.
taking so long?
You watch Shrek in there.
I watched Shrek porn in there. Exactly. All right, final F My Life of the day sent to me by Carl. Carl said, last week I got a call from my 8-year-old's 3rd grade teacher. Apparently, a question went around class asking, why do you think you were put on this earth? Okay?
Uh-huh.
And my son answered, my dad says it's because I swam the fastest.
That's a gold star?
Yeah, that's a gold star for sure.
Yeah.
So I say big baby.
Big baby.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hilarious.
Yeah, it is. Keep those emails coming. beefvegan@kfma.com. Let's hit the reset. We got more coming up after these words on Rock 1 2.1 KFMA. All right, so that wasn't Morning Moron. That was F My Life. I stand corrected. But we're going to be back on here in about a minute 19 talking about this woman and her ailment here, which back pain for days, right? And now, of course, pre-puberty me is just like, oh, that poor woman. All right, but you check back in like a month if I start getting testosterone therapy and losing weight. I'm like, giggity, giggity, giggity. Oh, my God. Milkers. I'm still waiting for KFMA boobs, too, which we're going to get here soon. You know those knitted boobs I got that were purple? Yeah, we're going to get KFMA colored boobs here for the studio.
Nice.
Yeah, so if you're having a bad day, I'll just toss you the pillow. And it's basically, a comfort pillow.
Pain goes bye-bye.
Exactly. All right. Yeah, it does suck, right? As I'm gaining weight and developing boobs, my lower back pain is killing me. So, I feel bad for all my ladies out there that have D's and above. I do not feel bad for anyone with C's. You guys are getting discounts everywhere you go, smiles, doors open for you, all the good stuff.
Do you know what makes her pain go away in this case particularly?
What's that?
$366,000 a year on OnlyFans revenue.
Of course. Woo! Okay, we're getting into this story right now. We got 3 seconds here until we get on the air. Brilliant. All right, there's Disturbed with the Sound of Silence on Rock 102.1 KFMA. On the podcast broadcast stream, you're going to see an image of a beautiful woman with probably one of the largest set of breasts that you've ever come across. Well, it's a pea cup size boobs, right?
Yeah, it says the headline, my pea cup boobs won't stop growing due to a rare condition, and it cost me $170 to buy one bra.
That's insane, right? Now, we talked about pink tax earlier during F My Life because there was a woman who ended up having that time of the month while she was traveling. And so she had to get a box of tampons, and the only box she found was for $18, right? So they charged through the roof, and that was only for 6 tampons. So you do the math there, right? So it's like $3 a tampon. With that said, though, this is something that women just deal with their entire lives. This pink tax is a thing. My daughter guilt trips me on it all the time. And then I have to always pick up all these different things that I would never buy if I had a boy, and I'd save tons of money. But unfortunately, that's just the way it is. Mm-hmm. To buy a bra, $170 for a bra.
A bra.
Yeah, just to keep those monsters up. Tell me more about this woman.
She's natural pea cup breast won't stop growing due to a rare condition. Paige Amelia, 29, suffers from, if I pronounce it right, gigantomastia. Gigantomastia.
I look at those boobs and they're gigantomastia. What horny doctor named that?
Seriously, a rare condition which causes rapid breast tissue growth. She has to shell out thousands each year on $170 piece of custom-made bras and new clothes every time her cup size goes up again. And says, luckily for the mom of one from Melbourne, Australia, she makes over $366 a year on OnlyFans.
$366?
$366,000.
There you go. Yeah, so it happens with, fortunately, I guess, for the oversized breasts, oversized everything on the internet with pictures, I'm sure is great. But, it's so weird that guys are shelling out money to see pictures of this because in real life, they wouldn't even know what to do with it. And in real life, there is such thing as like too big where it just kind of gets in the way.
No, they're all doctors, really concerned about gigantomastia.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah, they're subscribers because they're doctors just doing research.
Exactly.
Yes, I've researched it in the past before too, usually just with free accounts. But yeah, so they say she had a kid and it seems like she's getting thick all over though. So is there anything like her gaining weight? Does that have anything to do with it?
I don't know, but it says it leaves her with severe back pain, obviously.
Yeah.
She fears a reduction surgery would be pointless, quote unquote, if they just grow back again, basically. Because it's like this continuing cycle. So she's inundated with messages from trolls and constantly have to tell people her breasts are natural when she's labeled plastic.
Yeah.
Having to defend herself.
Right.
Constantly.
Yeah.
You think I want this?
I do feel bad for her. She'll be in a wheelchair by the time she's 40 if they continue to grow like that. So, you know what? Do a quick Google. What's the largest breast can grow to? What's the biggest, letter size bra available to the general public? Because P sounds like the largest I've ever heard. Would you ever date a girl with P-sized breasts?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I'm equal, yeah.
I'm just
what's her personality
equal
like?
opportunity.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get to the personality, brother. I don't think you're going to hear a word coming out of her mouth Honestly.
It says the largest letter size for a bra is typically N or O, but these sizes are not universally available.
There you go. So she broke the alphabet.
Damn.
Yeah, she N-O and then nope. Then that's the largest it goes to.
Nope.
Like, yeah,
Nope.
check out these peas. Woo. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, 300 and some thousand a year though. Just showing them off. So maybe you think she might be wishing that they get all the way up to X.
I know. It's
Yeah.
weird.
It does grow. Well, she is a beautiful woman now. You know, this is all happening in Australia.
Just like she says, the growth is sporadic. Sometimes it stops, and suddenly they grow a lot in a month. So it just hits randomly.
Yeah.
Like, well, time to go on the old OF again.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the update, guys.
All right, well let's switch gears here while we're on like the Rico news segment. There's a couple things that you found on the internet. This one here, I'm showing. I'm looking at Zillow pictures, but this looks like this is inside of a Cabela's or one of those hunting shops, right? What
Like
is
a
this? that
Ace
you-
Pro Shop.
Bass Pro Shop
Pro
is what I'm
Shop.
thinking. Yeah, absolutely. But this isn't the inside of some fancy resort. This is actual house.
Yeah, looks like it. It's a Zillow find that the internet loves to pick out. You know, it's in New Berlin, Wisconsin, 6,254 square feet.
Nice.
What is it? $1 million? 200,000?
Yeah, well,
Really
in
200,000?
Wisconsin,
Yeah.
and basically, like if this house was in Scottsdale, it'd be $10 million. But we're looking at what it looks like a beautiful underground, like cave-like lagoon. That's
So
all in a house
obnoxious.
in Wisconsin. You say obnoxious, but if you were living in Wisconsin, and aren't you from there?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Oh, yeah.
in the wintertime, you can't even go outside your house. So, I mean, this is like having a spring wonderland.
Yeah, some of the side rooms look decent. You look at the main one right there, the living area. That looks like a lair where like an 80s coke lord drug dealer main boss guy would hang out.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. So you're saying if you won the lottery, you would not buy this?
No.
Okay, would you rent it for a party?
As a joke, maybe just have like a party there, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
I
is
don't
the
even
main
think this
thing.
is the main living room. I think this is the lounging area outside of the pool down in the den. I mean,
Oh, the gift shop.
yeah, it's basically the gift shop. They have a game room as well. Some of the things that you find on Zillow, it's amazing.
The classiest thing they have there is like a replica of like a dolly painting. They're like, yeah, that'll class it up.
Yeah.
That'll be fine.
All right, well, that's what
Exterior's
Rico
nice.
found on the internet this week. Let's hit the reset on the FM side. Keep the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast, youtube.com/beefvegan. Hey, let me see a couple more of these.
Yeah, that was not
images.
meant to be on the radio segment.
Well, that's okay. I was like, while we're at it,
Visual.
I'm like, here's a couple things that Rico sent me, just links into my.
Nah, you should have played the guy speaking fake English.
Did you? Well, you didn't send me that link through.
Yes, I did.
Wait, let me finish my sentence to my email.
Yes, I did. Check it.
All right, hold on. Okay, yes. Let's. Well, hold on. Let me look at a couple more of these pictures first, because there's 59 of them, and then we'll do that, and that's good audio. But I'll save that audio for
Radio.
speed break after Metallica's Fuel. All right, so we have this. Okay, so the rooms are normal. The laundry room sucks. They spent all their money in the underground lagoon, didn't do shit for laundry,
Looks like
right?
a Guatemalan laundromat.
It does, dude. I mean, you have like a tropical paradise and then literally like the servants center. The kitchen looks amazing. Look at that. How are you going to go from like, you're going to show off everything, all these upgrades, and then this rusted ass, busted washer dryer in the middle of all that? That's going to make me not want to buy it right off the bat.
Ugh,
Yeah. The decor is something to be.
god awful.
Yeah.
So bad.
Seriously. It does. It looks so weird. It's all in Wisconsin. There isn't any
random.
information on who the homeowner was, huh?
Probably. Maybe.
The pool does look pretty cool though.
The inside pool.
Yeah, that looks cool. It does look like it's.
I do some Molly in there.
Yeah, that's a
why
good
not?
Molly pool. Double guest room. Are they Airbnb-ing it or this cuck beds? What do they got going on
Cock beds.
here?
Yes.
Yeah, look at that. The whole cuck room. Be like, here's the thing. You could have this lagoon, you could have this bar, you could have this game room, you have a shitty ass laundry room, and you'll have to sleep with every fucking member of your family in one room. That's because all the other space was made to create a lagoon and a party palace.
Seems like the one place they send all like the tourists from like South America to Wisconsin so they feel at home kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna like the Dells. You're not gonna like cheese curds.
Yeah, it's so
go hang on in the cocaine den.
right.
Here you go.
It's crazy too because the place is so nice, but also looks so bad too. So you look at this room as well, and it seems like this was like half-ass put together. In fact, you see the cable hanging out the ceiling there where the electrical like socket would be. I mean, I'm not an electrician, but this looks like shoddy work.
Yeah, it doesn't seem compliant.
Yeah, not at all. At all.
So half-assed.
Right. So it's weird because they're just like, yeah. I mean, if you have a servant, like if you have servants, right, or a full-time staff that they're gonna live on property, then I guess this house would do. Being like, here, for the people you don't really love and care about and you only pay for, they can live in this shitty part of the house. And everyone you do care about can live in luxury in a tropical paradise in the middle of Wisconsin.
Right.
See, there you go. There's the master bedroom. It's way different than what we're seeing everywhere else. I mean, this whole house contradicts itself. With like cave drawings and stuff. They were doing a caveman style in there. Look at the bathroom. This is obviously the master bathroom and not the guest bathroom. Insane.
You got faux stone and horrible color palette. Everything's just mixed and matched.
Yes, I know.
Gross.
It does look like a gross Airbnb you would stay at. It's all niche. Look at this. The hell is that?
It's Azusanti, what is that called here?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, like that's so crazy. Yeah, this whole I can understand. I can see why
the Jurassic Park cafeteria.
Yeah, I can see why this house went viral for sure. But
oh,
yeah,
God.
It's baffling. I mean, there's some beautiful parts to it, and some parts that are just like what, and that's the outside of it. Interesting. No outdoor pool, obviously. Don't need it.
Yeah, it's just ugh.
And then it's on a pond, of course.
Looks like it was designed by a 5-year-old in like Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. It was let's say it was a billionaire single father who was like, "How do you want your room to be decorated? How do you want the house?" Yeah, and then he's like, "Okay, Billy, I got you, buddy. Anything to replace the fact that you miss your mom every day."
I bet you they had like a crocodile or like some illegal gorillas in there at one point. Let them roam around.
It would be good. What does the description say? Okay, well, excellent question here, Tomcat. The description on this reads as follows. Let's see.
Nestled on 17 secluded acres.
No, here we go. It says, yeah, oh, yeah, you got it? Go ahead and read it.
Sure. This is the ultimate retreat experience, boasting a private lake for fishing, indoor pool, and game room. It's a haven for relaxation and recreation. With 10-foot chain link fencing, privacy is paramount. Ideal for investors, preppers, or those seeking a primary or secondary home. Sleeping 16, the custom home features a high-end appliances, 3 sets of washer dryers, and wildlife views aplenty. Enjoy outdoor living with a gazebo, beach, and fire pits. Perfect for gathering under the stars. Recent $400K renovation enhancing its allure. Somebody paid $400K to renovate this?
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Good God. With parking for 40 cars, all your drug dealing friends. Invite friends and family for unforgettable weekends. Just 90 minutes from Chicago and 15 minutes from Milwaukee. Escape the city without sacrificing convenience.
That's crazy. It's
wow.
so funny that they mention preppers in that.
I know.
Like, are you worried about the world? Are you
an investor? No. How about a prepper?
That means what they're not showing is there's an underground bunker somewhere on property, right? It has to be.
It has to be.
You can't mention preppers and have that many windows on your property. Right? Every prepper knows that windows are a prepper's worst enemy. So, there's got to be an underground wine cellar / bunker with a bunch of cans of tuna and gallons of water for the apocalypse. And you know what? Honestly, then it goes into apocalypse. That's not a bad place to stay. First off, it's almost like the rebirth of man and
civilization
evolution.
Right there.
Civilization right there.
Primordial.
It's funny, too, because I've been watching a lot of videos on that lately. And the past couple, I would say the past week and a half, a lot of headlines have been happening about talking about real-life hobbits on a tiny island by Indonesia. And researchers believing that they are real. And now there's even like a cash bounty being offered to anybody who could capture one of these real-life hobbits, a species of man that is yet to be discovered. Yeah, is yet to be discovered, but they believe is around on this island in the Indonesia area.
Oh, that's going to end well.
Yeah, I know. But,
How many fakes are going to get to? Like, just like chloroform on a dwarf. Like, oh, we found one.
Yeah, and you're like, no, man, just someone with dwarfism. Stop being a dick. You know, you're going to like dwarf wrestling, be like, I found a whole crew,
Put
a
like
whole
hobbit
tribe.
clothes on them. Like, yeah, they'll buy it.
Yeah, but no, scientists have found skeletons of on the Indonesian island of Flores in 2003 of a species of ancient humans that were only 3.5 feet tall. But they believe that the new species named Homo florescensis, whatever, Nesis, walked on 2 legs, had a ape-like face, and may still be alive. So, yeah, they are offering basically a prize for anybody who goes to this island and can find the miniature people seen there. Now, as far as like the folklore, because there are locals on that island that are, you know, regular Homo sapiens, and they have told tales of seeing this species, but for years and generations, researchers just felt like it was, you know, it's folklore. It's like, you know, a wise tale that tribes would speak of. But, you know, the more and more frequent that these stories would be told, and the more recent these stories are told, along with the skeletons that scientists have found, now they're thinking, well, maybe there's something to this. Maybe there is a species here that we don't know of, and they have an ape-like face, but they're kind of like humans, so they're kind of like halfway there, but maybe they're intelligent enough to keep hidden, you know. So
we already have the pygmy tribe, African pygmies, the hunter-gatherers,
and honestly,
they're
so
tiny people.
2025 might be the year that we discover that A, aliens are among us, and B, so are hobbits. We are straight out of a Tolkien novel, dude.
And one is charging a lot for Airbnbs.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, obviously, I'll keep you updated on that. And don't worry. I mean, this hobbit-like species is in my algorithm because I keep seeing these stories pop up.
I need more of that in my algorithm.
Yeah.
Let's crowdfund a trip. Let's go find one.
To Flores, Indonesia?
Let's do it.
I'd like to crowdfund a trip to Vegas. You know, like I don't even have money for that, but
you do enough drugs, everybody's short there.
That's true. All right. Rock 1 2.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. One last story I want to share with you, or at least audio clip that Rico has come across on the interwebs, is how English sounds to foreigners. Explain the backstory before I share this clip.
Not much of a backstory. It's a viral clip you come across and you LOL at, and there was one of those. It's like a Middle East guy, I think, in a village somewhere.
Okay.
And his friend is like introducing him. He's like, do it, make the American sound.
Do it, make the American sound. Let's hear their best, because I know they hear how we like impersonate like foreigner sounds,
right?
And they laugh or say that's just blatantly offensive,
right?
So let's see which reaction we have.
I hate how your brain tries to piece it together too. You're like, what's he actually? It sounds English.
Yeah, but it's
not.
not.
But it's not.
He just went
gibberish.
nasally. So we're all a bunch of just nasal 1920s baseball announcers. Man, Joe Lewis is up on the plane.
Mocking us.
I was trying to do it. You're doing it at the same time. So let's pick one. All right, let's start. I thought he was going to say packet pastrami. Excellent viral video. Yeah,
I'm not even
bad.
mad.
Not bad. All right, we got more Beef Vegan Presents coming in after Chevelle. Here's the rant on Rock 1 2.1. 35 pastrami, pack of pastrami.
We're gonna have to do it again because the stream didn't hear anything.
You didn't hear the song. That's fine.
No. Stream.
Oh shit! How did they not? Oh,
look at the comments.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well then, here you go. It was only for the radio, but here's what it sounded like to people listening on the radio.
Allez up, Pakistan, Patan. Today we have to the Bonnaroo in Afghanistan. We near after the Afghani OCC border area. We have to the rocket launcher firing after the people 35 wanted of blasting.
All right, there you go.
Video no auto.
No, I know So I fixed it, and that's because I muted this. And no, Patrick, I'm not saying like F the stream today. It's always love the stream. Unfortunately, yeah, I effed it up. Not on purpose, though. I forgot that I muted this for other reasons because we're pulling up all these sites and, obviously there's commercials or, those kind of spam links that are connected to some of those where I get audio where I don't want to see the audio. I just want the image. Basically, the P-cup breast lady is the reason why I muted it before I brought it up. So, but that's what he sounded like. Here's another thing I want to show you. Speaking of images here. This is Elvis Presley's studded jockstrap.
Wow.
Legitimately.
How much?
Why, you want it?
Yeah.
Well, first off, you can't afford it. I already know without knowing what the price is that it's
I'm
out
just
of
curious how much they're listing it for. That'd be funny.
Yeah. Let's see. And it's always the boob's fault for sure. And yes, the boobs on the thing. Let's see. Where is, I got this information on Elvis's jockstrap. They're just going through his storage sheds at this point and just selling stuff away. Now that Lisa Marie has passed away, but Priscilla's still around. So, where did I find this? I don't know. I'll figure it out here in a second. It's a lot.
It's a lot. I do want to see an episode of Pawn Stars when they bring that in. Like, we got a guy who does Elvis jockstraps. Hold on. Give me a call.
Yeah. He smells it. You're like, no, I'm sorry. This was not worn by the king.
Yeah.
Yeah, the king, he has a distinct scent that makes a straight man aroused. Because he's the king. Imagine he's Elvis Presley and Fat Elvis at this point. And he brings a groupie backstage and like, oh, you want the king's ding-a-ling?
Oh.
Here we go. And he takes off that jumpsuit. Right? And probably it's tearaway, right? And he just like, fat, got like man boobs, but he's in a studded jockstrap. Like,
Hey, you don't want that?
Yeah, and he's getting it on that way. That's what be the case. That's going to happen.
So actual diamond studs, too?
Yeah, I think so. There is more information on this, and I'll find it. I forgot exactly where I found that specific story, but I had it pulled it up on my screen for like all morning long.
It's like your prized family heirloom.
Yeah. Oh, another image that the internet was cracking up about was Wolf Blitzer in front of his television. So this is Wolf Blitzer celebrating the Buffalo Bills win. Which is great, right? But the internet was cracking up because of such a stereotypical grandfather he is.
Yep.
They're looking at his home entertainment center. Now, not only is that like a very old plasma television, right underneath here, you got a DVD player, a CD player, and a VHS player.
Hell yeah.
And on the top shelf, if you notice, Wolf Blitzer has 4 different remotes. Rock 102.1 KFMA, welcome back to Beef Figure Presents. I'm showing this viral image of Wolf Blitzer celebrating the Buffalo Bills victory over the weekend by pointing to the score in a picture of his home entertainment center, which the internet was quick to point out that Wolf Blitzer, a man who's been like a main anchor on CNN for decades now, has such an old school grandpa-like home entertainment center. It looks like if you tried to resell it on Facebook Marketplace, you would get $200 tops. For the plasma, 36-inch plasma television, the DVD player, the VHS/CD player that he has, and the 4 remotes to try to operate all of them. It's hilarious to see that Wolf Blitzer.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, just a straight up grandpa just a grandpa you know and love. It's fantastic. All right. So we talked about hobbits potentially being a thing. That's a real thing. Here's another thing that's just going to make you scratch your head about society, but cuddling salons are growing in popularity. The Polish entrepreneur actually said she realized one day that sometimes people just need a hug, so she opened up a professional cuddling salon, and now that cuddling salon is so popular, there's a wait list of several days to get an appointment for a 1-hour snuggle.
Damn.
Yes. Now, this is not the first time I've come across a story in weird news about cuddling salons. They usually originate from Japan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're starved for affection over there. In Poland, this is something new. And there are rules to the cuddling salon. So it's not like one of those massage parlors we see around town that have the open sign up at like 11:30 at night.
Cash only.
I literally have one of those by my house where I was driving home. It was like midnight the other night. And I look, I'm like, you guys are open at midnight, huh? As a massage parlor? That's interesting.
24-hour economy, huh?
Yeah, dude.
Cool.
For a massage? Like someone just needs a massage at midnight on a Saturday night?
I got some knots.
How busy are you? Very, very odd. Where I'm like, this is, How do you say that you're committing a crime without saying you're committing a crime? Anyways, the rules of this cuddling salon is so strange that they have to agree and make it clear that crossing sexual boundaries leads to an immediate termination of the session, right? So if you could hold out 55 minutes, then it'll be worth it.
I love they had to say it like that, too. Like, how many violations have there been already?
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah. This is day one.
Did you like the massage double tap? Like, all right, time's up. Let's go.
And you're cuddling. And everyone likes to cuddle and snuggle, right? But when you do that, you kind of like do a little thrust, right? You kind of, it's not like full-blown dry humping by any means, right? But you kind of, you kind of nudge in position. And,
Sure.
Yeah. So I wonder how many of those get by before there's a violation.
There's an actual number they have, like a threshold.
Yeah.
Like no more than 3 adjustments.
Yeah, 3 thrusts in a row,
3 thrusts.
you're out,
Right.
mister. Now, 1 every couple minutes, just because you claim to reposition yourself for comfort,
Right.
will allow, right?
You have like an app for it attached to you guys.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's cuddling salon. So that's something that we don't have here in Tucson yet. But, if people in Poland are making money hand over fist, maybe an entrepreneur out there might think of that as maybe the next big get-rich scheme. Because I think there's a lot of people here in Tucson that just need to be cuddled.
Yeah, Tucson's the Warsaw of the West, or the East. We're the same.
Yes.
We're very Polish here.
We are the Warsaw of the East.
Yeah.
Or, no,
Whatever.
of the West. Dude.
Yeah, the West.
You had it right the first time.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, keeping the conversation
cuddle.
moving on. Actually, damn, it's Monday. We ran out of time already. I know. Did I want to end it on a cuddling story? No. But I did. It is what it is. Tomorrow morning, we'll continue our Tap Out Tuesdays. I believe we're going to have Tucson Games and Gadgets in studio, which is great because we're going to do a lot of big things with Tucson Games and Gadgets this year. So you'll have an opportunity to win up to $100 of gift certificates for their fine establishment. Plus, we'll continue to give away tickets for your Tucson Roadrunners. Until then, Robin Nash is up next. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later.
When you wish upon a side of beef, soon will.
I tell you what, even though we ran out of time on the FM side, I guess we will wrap things up. I do have another segment that I recorded earlier this morning. And in case you missed it, well, a little something like this. Check it out. Hired guns. And let me ask you this, Rico. Has Mark Zuckerberg went full MMA, bro?
He's been that way for a little while now.
Yeah, he's been training. He's been doing
Some jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu, yeah, some MMA, which is great cardio. It's good to know, like, self-defense. His style has changed a little bit. Not his, clothing style, because he's been literally wearing the same outfit for over a decade now. And he does that for a reason, a scientific reason. It's because he has to make so many decisions throughout the day. So if he doesn't have to pick out what he wears, then that's one more decision he's able to make.
It's like the Steve Jobs turtleneck.
Yes, absolutely. Right. So he wears the gray t-shirt with jeans kind of deal, but he's been kind of growing out his curly locks. He was recently on Joe Rogan's podcast, and I'm sure you've been seeing those clips everywhere. And a lot of the conversation was talking about the news last week that Dana White has been officially announced as a member of Facebook's board, which, I feel like is an interesting move for a couple reasons. I think this is like a kind of a decision put in place ahead of Donald Trump becoming president, and therefore going after Facebook, right? Because obviously Donald Trump, first and foremost, he has 2 favorite social media pages. A True Social, obviously, because he could profit off of that. And as of right now, X, because of Elon Musk. But how long will Donald Trump and Elon Musk be in favor with each other? Because the reality is there are already people within his inner circle that are anti-Elon, and it's only a matter of time before falling out. We've seen history before, so I don't see it lasting.
A lot of MAGA infighting happening.
Absolutely. Steve Bannon is going scorched earth on Elon Musk right now, straight up calling him like a racist, an evil racist, I think is the quote. Right? So I don't see this bromance between Donald Trump and Elon Musk making it through 2025. In fact, if it makes it past the first quarter, color me shocked, because I just don't think that's going to happen. But getting Dana White on the board of Facebook, Dana White and Donald Trump have been broskies for years, since his last presidential run. So, I mean, that's one where he's gonna listen to Dana White. He loves the attention and admiration he gets when he goes to UFC fights. Dana White always treats him like a VIP. And, he never backed down in his support for Donald Trump. Dana White has always been very vocal in his support for Donald Trump.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But the reason why Mark Zuckerberg wanted Dana White on the board was this. This is what he told Joe Rogan. Listen to this.
And I think part of what the conversation that I had with him around joining our board was, okay, like, we have a lot of governments and folks around the world putting a lot of pressure on our company, and like we need some like strong people who are going to basically, help advise us on how to handle some of these situations.
So there you have it. He got Dana White on the board as muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like
no stand down, no BS, old school businessman.
Yeah, who works out and has a bunch of like trained killers on his payroll. Be like, oh, you have a problem with Facebook? Okay, here, why don't you just talk to my associate here? Basically, the mafia don of violence, Dana White, and talk to like one of his division heads here too. It just coincides with this conversation. But I mean, I do think it's a smart business move. But it'll be interesting to see what happens here to Facebook over the next couple years, as far as fact checking, which they've kind of implemented what Twitter has done.
Yeah, they're doing community notes.
Community notes, exactly.
So it's like kind of more of a mass consensus to find the truth rather than like a third-party fact-checking site, which has a lot of contention.
Yeah, I get it. It's interesting. But then again, like I said, going into 2025, I think one thing, which is I think the safest bet is, Facebook will be safe this first year, right?
That's what's funny. Watch, it's like you get the appeal, what he's going for. It's a smart move. It's a chess move for sure. People like to assume he's doing it just, he's finally on the right side of history. He's finally making, these moves for moral reasons.
Some people arguing that for sure.
But then you look at the long game, and it's kind of like he's just doing this to survive.
Yes.
Like they talked about, like if he maintained his status quo, point of view beforehand, he's going to court. He's going against the government. You'd rather be friends with the president than enemies.
That's true. So that leads me to this question, okay? So if, say, Donald Trump doesn't win this election, is Dana White on the Facebook board?
Say again?
If Donald Trump doesn't win the election, right, like he did, is Dana White going to be announced on the Facebook board? Yeah, absolutely not, right? Yeah.
If his Kamala was still in power, then it'd be like this would not be happening at all.
Okay, so which celebrity then would take Dana White's place?
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill. That's random as hell, for sure.
No, look at his Instagram page.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's fitting. All right, let's hit the reset. We got music on the way from Foo Fighters and Papa Roach on Rock 102.1 KFMA. Rock 102.1 KFMA. As you can tell by the sound of that intro, it is time for music news here on Beefy Presents. Our first story here. Billboard says that the best rock band of the 21st century is... If you were to guess, the best rock band of the 21st century.
21st century?
Yes. Post-2000, who would claim that crown? You can't say Metallica because they were around before the 21st century. So this is a band that debuted after the year 2000, dominated during their run, and is called now the greatest of 2000 or the 21st century so far.
I'm going to pull a wild card and just say Muse, just because.
That was good. That was a good guess. You were wrong, though, unfortunately. And they weren't even on the list of the top 5. Man.
Oh.
They say the top band of the 21st century, according to Billboard, Nickelback. I'm not joking. The top 100 artists of the 21st century list debuted on Billboard, and despite only being a quarter of the way through the century, Taylor Swift was no surprise number 1, but it's been pointed out that the highest-ranking rock act on the list is Nickelback at 26. So 25 other acts were ahead of Nickelback. And so Nickelback, the only rock band representing. And you had Linkin Park at 37, which technically they debuted in the 90s.
I was gonna say.
I call shenanigans on that. Creed at 66 and Three Doors Down at 76.
Okay.
So, it's a little unfortunate there. All right. A classic album that did come out in the 2000s was the White Stripes' Elephant, and they're celebrating their 20th anniversary. Actually, not Elephant, the fifth album, Get Behind Me, Satan. So they're celebrating the 20th anniversary of that album. with a companion release to the original album with songwriting demos, live versions of the tracks, alternate studio takes, and everything, plus a vinyl. The 2 LP package had a 7-inch and a Blu-ray with footage of Jack and Meg's 2005 tour, Central and South America. And it will be available through the Vault, the vinyl subscription service from Third Band Records, with a deadline of January 31st to sign up. So if you're a White Stripes fan.
What anniversary is that? You said 20th?
20th, yeah.
I'm old.
Yeah. You remember when the album came out?
Oh, yeah.
What were you doing?
Listening to the old White Stripes album?
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for that. All right. Jane's Addiction is reportedly recording new music, but without their iconic lead singer, Perry Farrell. So is it going to be an instrumental album? Can't wait for that.
It's going to be a flute.
Uh-huh. All right. And finally, they say everyone's a critic, and that's fine. If you're an artist, you're okay with people, critics, and like people not liking your music, as long as the fans love your music.
Exactly.
I'll tell you who you don't want to be a critic of your music: the Mexican cartels. Yeah. The Mexican singer Nathaniel Cano received death threats from a drug cartel recently. A banner was actually issued by Jalisco Mariasas. I'm saying this wrong, and I apologize. Don't kill me. Faction in the Sinaloa cartel. They warned Cano and other artists to cut the crap or face being shot. So, I mean, yeah, and he's basically a rapper, like a gangster rapper.
Right.
And everyone's a gangster rapper till Suge Knight is knocking on your door, right? And that's what's happening right now. It's a very scary situation. The cartel is accusing these singers of financially aiding a rival gang. Now, Cano is known for singing a genre that's associated with drug cartel culture. So essentially, it's Mexican gangster rap. And it's ironic that Mexican gangsters aren't fans of it. Right? Now, the banner was found at a high school, which led to an investigation, and authorities have placed Cano and others under protective measures. The cartel faction is obviously known for extreme violence, including torturing rivals and feeding victims to tigers. So, not the good cartel.
Time to be a country star.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of rappers convert to country. Now's the time. I mean, Post Malone was never threatened.
Yeah.
And he made the jump, so why don't you, Nathaniel Cano? This is the first time that Cano has been explicitly targeted by a cartel in this manner, and probably the last. So there's your music news. Let's hit the reset. We'll give you an opportunity to win tickets for the Tucson Roadrunners right after these words. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA.